actually about each coach.
The bench coaches.
Yeah.
So Coach Steve. Yeah. I'll start with Steve because he's the head coach. I can't say enough good things about Steve. He is detailed, prepared. He's a great person. He is dedicated to growing. He's really innovative. Like, he seeks the new thing, but does his research on it, right? Doesn't just dive into things. So he has the epitome of a growth mindset, which is pretty cool. And he is just dedicated to making a successful team. And you can see him on the ice. He's a good leader. Like, he can command the group, and he knows what he's doing. So hockey acumen aside, which is all great things, his drills are fast paced and things like that, but he's just a good leader for the group. So Clayton has, and I'll actually talk Clayton and Christine together because I think they create a holistic coaching staff that I have seen kind of come to fruition here on the ice that I'm really excited about. So Clayton and Christine kind of balance each other out. Clayton's a little quieter, Christine's a little bubblier. So, but they just have really cool backgrounds. Their diversity of experience, right? Overseas as well as up in Canada, in the men's game, in the women's game. Both of them just bring a lot of great knowledge of the game, but also really good complementary personalities, and they connect with players in really, really good ways, but really different ways. So I like how they have worked together on the ice so far. It's been really cool to watch.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask about the camp invites.
Sure.
So how did you go about selecting them, and what are you looking for from them? And in particular, like, I've noticed that there are a number of West Coast products. We've got Mara Wagner, who's from Seattle, and I think Brooke and Lily are from Southern California, just representing the West Coast a little bit. So if you could talk about all of them, but like also our locals. Yeah.
So selecting them, just to clarify, as far as selecting them on the roster or initially bring them to camp?
Oh, for bringing to camp.
Oh, bring to camp.
And then what are you looking for in terms of?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll try to hit all these. Let me
Sorry.
know. No, you just
guide
me where you need me.
I want
here.
them to get their time in the sun a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I think it means a lot bringing someone to camp. We didn't just bring people to camp to have bodies on the ice. I think each of these players has earned a spot at this camp. Brings a lot of them bring something different, whether it's a smaller player that has a lot of grit and kind of a little Energizer bunny out there, or someone who's had some experience, like Brooke has had some experience in the league. So I think that was really important. She's gotten great feedback, and all of her teammates have really loved her. So it's about bringing good people in and people that are going to work to earn a roster spot. And so just selecting those players, obviously a lot of video, talking to coaches and people that have played with them. And yeah, just figuring out who we want to, what the roster spots available are, and what kind of players we want to fill those roles. And then having some flexibility to be able to adjust if someone surprises you, right? So, yeah, it's always great to bring West Coast people too. I love the connection out here. And Barnes is from here too, so got some more West Coast local players. Great to bring Mara as well. Awesome, great connection, and she's got a lot of energy. So, yeah, it's been good to be able to kind of bring some people home and give them that opportunity.
Will you talk about your own transition when you got out here getting settled? Do you have keys to all the locked doors at KCI, and about the status of your permanent facilities?
Keys to all the locked doors. I don't know. I don't have a big keychain in my pocket, but I'm sure someone does. We've been getting settled well. The team is settling in well. Kraken have been really good to us. The facility's great, and yeah, can't say enough good things about our space here and the setup here, and the players, I think, are pretty excited to be here.
And what about where are your permanent facilities going to be, and what's the status of when you'll be able to be in them?
Yeah, so we have our locker room here, so that's here, and then we just have a space nearby that will be a more dedicated training facility for our players and staff as well, some offices, so that's nearby, and we'll be able to keep the flow of operations without cutting into the training day or anything.
Northgate nearby? Or?
Yeah, in Northgate, yeah, just kind of across the road.
Do you foresee a leadership captaincy announcement coming before you guys begin play next Friday?
Yeah, we're assessing who we kind of want. So I think it was important to see the group connect on the ice and who kind of is taking the lead in different ways. So yeah, we're certainly going to announce some captains at some point, but we'll let you know. It'll happen when it happens. It'll be very exciting.
When we spoke to the players 2 days ago, big message about how important it was to be the first but not the last, bringing women's hockey to this region. Is that a message that you have personally shared with the team, or is that just something that people know because it is a fact?
Yeah, I think it's reinforced through everything with this league. I think every player that steps into this league knows the mission and knows that we're not just here for the current moment, but to really grow hockey. And I think Seattle's a great market where we can really continue to build the momentum that's already been set by the Kraken and beyond that. So yeah, I've been reinforcing that. Even our equipment manager is a Tacoma native, I think. So she was just talking about how special it is for her. So the message is pretty clear, I think, from all angles, but I think it's intrinsically they're motivated to make it happen.
When you're building a roster, how important is a player like Hillary Knight to be on this team, the first version of this team?
Yeah, I think it's so important, right? She is obviously an amazing player, does all the little things right, is unbeatable around the net and can put the puck in the net. Just got a hat trick at rivalry, so as evidenced by that. But she brings people in and she takes care of her teammates and she builds the game as evidenced by the last however many years she's been playing and just where the game has come from when she started. And I think she's been a really big part of that. So it's, I'm sure, pretty cool for some of the younger players to step on the ice with her and be able to learn and grow from her. But I know that she's reaching out and just being a great leader for everyone.
There isn't a lot of time from when training camp starts to the first game, but I know that the team has been coming together off the ice a bit. Have you been a part of that? How are people bonding? How are you getting to know one another with then only 10 days from training camp to first game?
Yeah,
not a lot of room for people to
not
surprise
a lot
you.
of time, but it's
Yeah.
a good group, and I think the players are bonding. The coaching staff is just, they're so good about bringing people together. And they're so focused on creating a good culture and environment in the locker room and beyond. And I think that tone has already been set by the coaches, by the veteran leaders in the locker room, and I think the younger players are fitting right in. So I think everyone is gelling pretty well. So it's looking good, but yeah, not too much time to create that cohesion, but I think we're on good pace with what we're seeing.
And you were GM in Boston for their first year too. Where were you at this point last year that you are with Seattle? In a sense of how does it compare? Did you learn lessons in Boston that you're I'm going to apply this in Seattle next year? It's going to go a little smoother maybe? Any mistakes were made that you learned from?
Yeah, I can't take Danielle's job, so as assistant GM in Boston. She's
Right.
doing a great job at that.
You're
No,
right,
that's
you're
okay.
right.
I knew.
Did Danielle make any mistakes?
No, seriously. No, Danielle was great, and I learned a lot, actually, from her. But yeah, you have, little operational things that you work out. We launched the fleet last year, so this is round 2 of a brand launch. So just helping our business team with some thoughts and perspectives there as we get rolling. But Maddie knows this market better than anyone, so she's doing a great job. But yeah, I think I was a bit of a fly on the wall and helped Danielle in contracts and salary cap and all those good things. And I think where we learned a lot and grew a lot was just starting an organization from scratch in year 1 and growing and continuing to to build, and you take every time some small thing goes wrong, you take that as a lesson learned and you make it better the next time. So I don't think there's one thing I can tag, but I'm sure just little growing pains here and there that we try to get ahead of.
You talked about Hillary kind of helping the game get to where it is today, compared to when she started. Would you mind kind of elaborating on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think, just with her play, obviously in college, and then with the national team, they had some movement with USA Hockey, and I'm not going to pretend to know all the details of that, but obviously, part of that program as they are making progress in the women's game. And then just throughout the leagues, right? The predecessor leagues here and coming to today, there's been a lot of, even after her great college career, just continuing to train and be invested in the game. So to me, it's pretty obvious. She's just done so much work, and she's continued to be at the forefront of the game and make sure that it continues to build and build. And I think this league, she's just been a big part of it. She's part of the leadership group, I believe, in the PWHPA, predecessor league. So we're obviously just continuing to move up from there. So
Thank you.
Having Hillary's experience this team is very big, but also being expansive draft with players from all teams across the league.
Mm-hmm.
How has the players who have come and won a championship in this league already coming to the Torrent helped this team? And what have other players kind of been able to take away from them, do you think?
Yeah, we have a lot of players with really great experience, great college experience, great pre-PWHL, obviously experience in the last couple of years here. So I think it's a group of people who have a lot of experiences that they can bring to the table, a good group of younger and more experienced veterans, I guess. You call veteran someone who's played in the league, but it's only been a couple of years. So yeah, I don't know if this is the best answer for you, but I think everyone brings their own different perspective and their own different experiences, and someone coming right out of college is going to have a very different experience than someone who's been around the game in the predecessor leagues, knows how amazing this league is, and just the difference. So I think it's a good mix, and they lean on each other in good ways, and all perspectives are needed. So
can you speak a little bit about our goaltending trio and how you picked each player, and also what you're looking for, like in the scrimmages? Are you gonna deploy all three goaltenders, or what the plan is there?
Yeah, the three goalies will all get looks, all get some playing time. So yeah, I feel good about our goalie trio. They're all competitive, really energetic, different goalies in terms of skill sets. CJ is a bit more athletic, smaller. Schroeder's a bit taller and just a different type of style. And then Hannah Murphy's kind of somewhere in the middle of the athleticism versus kind of blocker. So it's a good mix of goaltenders. So they're definitely going to get some looks in the exhibition games and hopefully build some momentum and some confidence there.
I had a question about being around KCI and sort of the local hockey scene, in particular the girls hockey teams that play around here and the hockey camp that I think Carter and Murphy went to this summer. Mm-hmm. What has been what does that, so there's a lot of talk about what that does, what the Torrent being here does for those teams, but what does that do for you and the players? I think CJ was mentioning this in the scrum yesterday. Yeah,
so I have gotten people walk by, they're like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's the Seattle Torrent. They're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Home opener, 28. So I think it gives some good visibility and exposure to people who are just kind of passing through, and then word of mouth is really good. So we can obviously work with the Kraken here to get on the ice. There's 3 great sheets here that we can use. To get on the ice with some of junior Kraken or some of the youth organizations or adult organizations here too, which is pretty unique. So there's a lot of space, but I think it also just helps us align well as a good partnership, I guess, in terms of being aligned not only with the Kraken who are here, but also the hockey community that comes by. So I think it's been pretty cool to see people learn in real time who we are. And someone was like, they look pretty sharp. And I was like, they're really good. So, I'm like, yeah, you should come watch a game. So it's been cool to see people learn, but it means a lot being here to us. And I think it's hopefully those people now know when they walk in who these players are.
When I talked to Hillary a few weeks ago, she mentioned that there was maybe some unfinished business with Boston, and people are making a lot about the Vancouver, the Vancouver rivalry, because they're entering the season at the same time, or the franchise, the league, sorry.
That's okay.
Is it more of a Vancouver rivalry, or do you have some unfinished Boston business too?
Oh gosh. Steve laid out the rivalry, so I'll stick with that at the brand launch. But
I'll ask you again later.
Off
the record with the true
let's see
rivalry.
how this weekend goes.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
No, I think we're two expansion teams coming up together, so we built the teams at the same time, and we're in the same rooms building those teams at time. So I think there's a natural want to beat them, as I'm sure they want to beat us too, and they're the only other West Coast team here as well. So I think we're kind of aligned in that. Unfinished business with Boston. Well, we didn't make the playoffs last year by 1 point, so that one hurt. So it's one of those things that you carry with you, and I think the message, at least for me, that I took away from that little bit of pain is that literally every point counts. And you can lose a game and lose your season in the last few minutes of a game. So the league is so good, and the balance is so good between the teams. Vancouver's going to be really tough to play against, but I think we are going to be very hard to play against, and that's what the team's doing here. So yeah, we'll take that little bit of pain and channel it into some grit on the ice.
Just coming off of that, how important is it for a franchise to have a rivalry that is that close? They're a 3-hour drive up the road, and you guys are building at the same time. How important is it for the fans and the organization to have a rivalry that is here and present?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I came from the Boston-Montreal general rivalry. The Bruins and the Canadians don't like each other either. So that's kind of similar. But I think, it gives you something to really sink your teeth into. I did go to a Seattle Storm game, and the fans were like so rowdy, and I loved it. So hopefully they'll channel that into our games versus everyone, but also Vancouver. I think it's important to have a shared enemy, maybe. Sorry, Kara, but it's. I think it'll be good. It'll make the games fun, but I do think every game will be fun in this league to watch.